man has only one duty, and that is to choose the winning side.
This is the wisest time to become a priest.
Unlike you, I chose to live in the real world.
I don't wear this for protection.
You were there tonight, Lord. Please be with me now.
We are born alone, and we die alone.
Please be careful where that leads you.
What do you expect me to do?
Pray for me, and one day forgive me, my son.
Relationships are fragile, and those most important relationships to us often break. And it's so tempting, and it's so encouraged by our society just to discard those relationships. And the truth is, those relationships are not disposable. In fact, the path for my growth and for your growth is working through those broken relationships.
He asked me to pray for him. Can you believe that?
Will you?
No way. Not for him.
The extraordinary thing has not been the technicality of being forgiven. It's being the sense, it's feeling that flame of worth ignite and thinking, yes, I'm forgiven because I'm worth something.
Chance.
What?
Chance to mend something that's broken. You're not here by coincidence, Rob. What you see.
It's a lot to carry around, that baggage of being mad at somebody and hating somebody. So yeah, I think it's probably a sense of relief not having those negative feelings all the time about some aspect or someone in your life. Forgiving people is a lot easier than it really seems to be.
Think for a moment about the worst experience of your life, the worst thing that's ever happened to you. What's the best way to react to that?
I was on my way to school one morning in high school, and out of the blue, a man came from behind me running up, and he put his hand over my mouth and he dragged me into an empty wooded lot. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. All of a sudden, he jumped up and ran away. And the police came later and they told us that he was a serial killer and rapist, and everyone that he had attacked, he killed and raped, except for me. I became very depressed, and I really struggled in who I was, and I was completely afraid. I never wanted to leave the house without someone. I felt like a part of me had died that day. I felt like I hated this man for what he did to me, and there was no way that I could forgive him. And I had absolutely no desire to pray for this man, and I wanted to hate him.
We have to pray. First for Father Lazaro, and then for his murderers.
But they're murderers, and they took pleasure in it.
What do you want to do to those swine? Truthfully, right now. What do you want to do to them? If you could, truthfully, and wouldn't you take pleasure in it?
It's not the same, Father.
No human being, not one of us, is free from human weakness. No one. Our faith is a gift. And God has called us to manifest it in love, here on earth. Unwavering love for every child of God, no matter who it is.
Even if they are wrong.
Yes, Juan! Even if they are wrong.
If we make forgiveness conditional on everyone around us, we're going to walk through life carrying the burden of unforgiveness for years or maybe decades on end.
When you forgive, you feel like a lot of load is off your heart. You don't have to think about that incident anymore. You just have to focus about what you can do to make it better. So forgiveness is one of the best answers.
The truth is, we can harbor unforgiveness towards people for years on end. And unforgiveness has actually been called drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It actually does more damage to us than it does to the other person.
Everybody deserves forgiveness, Everybody deserves a second chance, but there's certain steps you have to take to get there.
Forgiveness may feel like the hardest thing you'll ever do, but the truth is, taking that first step isn't really all that hard. The hard part is deciding to do it.
So the more I prayed for him, and every single day saying, I forgive him, it took years, but eventually it came to the day where when I said it, I felt it. And when I felt it and I knew I had so much peace, I could just let go of like everything that I was holding on to, all that hatred. It felt amazing. I felt so much freedom, and I could have my joy back, and I could claim my life back.
As you begin to move on and forgive people, then other people notice the example. Because what happens is, as you learn to become a forgiving person, you have a certain joy. You have a certain peace about you that other people don't have. And people want that. Forgiveness can change the world.
The path to true and lasting growth in our lives is strewn with pitfalls and dragons. There Be Dragons is a film all about facing those dragons and growing. Are you ready to face your dragons?